Hi there. My name is Laura Wygand, and I would like to talk to you about something that is near and dear to my heart. As you can see, I have this little cat sitting on the garage over my shoulder. Her name is actually Munchie, and she is what we call a feral cat. So I kind of wanted to let you know this very spot right here is where it all started for me. Have you ever walked down a dark alley, perhaps in Los Angeles or in your own city, and felt like something was watching you? Have you ever felt the goosebumps stand up on your arms and the neck hairs prickle up in fear? And you felt like you were being watched everywhere you went? Well, you could be very well right, because there are hundreds of yellow and green pairs of eyes watching you, their human counterparts. But there's no need to be afraid, because they are more afraid of you than you should be of them. These are what we call feral cats. Feral cats are unhomed cats, and I would like to inform you today about these silent survivors. They're a very real human problem, and I will share with you, not only do we feed Munchie right here, but as you can see, our two furry family members. We have Misty and Smokey. This is when they were living outdoors, coming up to our porch for food. Misty kind of liked to sleep in our pot. Well, after going through some procedures, which I will explain later about sterilizing them, much patience and love, they gave up their everyday struggle to survive and decided to trust us and came inside. So this is now Misty and Smokey, and as you can see, they don't have a care in the world. They're warm, they're dry, and they're loved, and they live indoors. So today, we're going to cover a few topics. One is I'm going to tickle your whiskers with some playfully fun and aggravating facts about feral cats. We're going to get to some solutions about what humans could do to help these unhomed cats. And then finally, we're going to travel across the world and have some tail-twisting fun, visiting some famous cat colonies across the world, because all feral cats deserve equal treatment, no matter how they pronounce meow. In June of 2019, FixNation.com stated that there are approximately 3 million cats in Los Angeles alone, about 146 million across the United States. And in March of 2007, Alley Cat Allies estimate there are 82 million house cats, with 80% of those being sterilized. Well, only 3% of feral cats are sterilized. This causes a high euthanasia rate in the United States shelters. First, I'm going to cover what is a feral cat. Well, feral cats, like Munchie here, are forgotten cats. Sometimes they're abandoned by their homeowners or their owners and left out to fend for themselves. They tend to reproduce if they're unsterilized, and then the future generations become completely unsocialized to humans, and this is what we call a feral cat. This is, according to the Cat Times website, accessed in 2020, and the FetchMD website in November 30th of 2020, queening is what you call a mother cat or a female cat getting prepared to have kittens. Now, unspayed females can go into heat every 2 to 3 weeks, and they can get as pregnant as young as 4 months old, having up to 7 litters per year. Each litter may have different fathers, and even each kitten inside litters could have multiple fathers. The ASPC in September 2020 estimated 1 million cats get euthanized in the shelters across the United States every year. 70% of all cats that enter shelters get euthanized. Compare that to 50% of the dogs that enter shelters. Some of the enemies of feral cats are the natural death and disease. March 16th of 2012, a peer-reviewed study by Gerhold and Jessup stated there are many zoonotic diseases that feral cats can have and also carry. They can have rabies, feline HIV, which they call FHIV, parasites, flea-borne anemia, And some of these diseases can also be transferred to other animals and humans as well. Then there are natural predators, like here in Southern California, the majority of the biggest natural predator besides humans is coyotes. There's also wildcats, large birds of prey that would carry off a small cat or kitten. Humans being the number one enemy of all feral cats, whether it's vehicles and urban development that may force them out of their habitat or kill them unintentionally on the street, or there could be intentional or unintentional poisoning through rodents being poisoned that the cats then eat and become poisoned themselves, or other killings like our Smokey that I showed you, who had 2 BB holes inside of her as well as being poisoned, so she now has seizures. According to a Nature Communications article of 2013, it says that some avid bird watching groups are even blaming feral cats as the number one reason of the decline of the songbird population across the world. This has caused some of these bird advocates to create coalitions and have petitions signed to get rid of feral cats, as well as try to have some local policies passed to mandate what to do with these cats. Now that I've given you a brief overview of what a feral cat is and where they come from, and even some of their enemies, let's look at some solutions that humans can do that would be available to help these feline friends. Number one is the trap, neuter, return, TNR, or now as it's being called, TNVR, which is trap, neuter, vaccinate, and return. Agencies like Alley Cat Allies, Fix Nation, and many others across the United States offer free spay and neuter clinics and vaccine clinics. Volunteers can trap these cats, bring them to the clinic, re-release them where they were originally found so they naturally form a colony of these cats. Once sterilized, the cats, which Munchie left, but you could see her ear is tipped, it's like cut off at the top, that will identify them as being already sterilized, and no need to trap her again to get her sterilized because she already cannot reproduce. According to the 10 Lives Feral Cat Odyssey 2014 documentary, it takes thousands of volunteers across the United States and hundreds of thousands across the world to volunteer to trap these cats and take care of the colonies once they have established with the sterilized cats. Cat colonies consist of volunteers, also known as cat ladies, although there are some men that are known as cat ladies as well. Cats will naturally protect their territory, so like Munchie here with her counterpart, who's not here right now, will protect this area and not allow other feral cats to roam into the area. They will protect where they are fed. Eventually, since they're sterilized, the colony would age and die out. Now, have I clawed your curiosity about our four-legged furballs here? Let's ride some tailwinds to some famous cat colonies across the world. In the United States, thousands in greater Los Angeles are registered with Fix Nation. Ours right here with Munchie and her counterpart Buddha are called Vicino Vixens. There are thousands more of these colonies across the United States. A fun fact is the friendliest state for a cat lover to live in is Maine. According to the Stately blog of January 22, 2020, they say Maine is the friendliest cat state for animal lovers because their state animal is none else than the Maine Coon cat. And as you can see, Misty here is a Maine Coon cat, calico Maine Coon cat. So another interesting fact is in Canada, they're also, according to the 10 Lives documentary of 2014, in Ottawa, Canada, a Parliament Hill colony, which closed in 2011, had 6 cats left. This was a famous colony that lived on Parliament Hill in Ottawa. Even the Parliament loved having the cats there. But when they started to age and die out and get smaller and smaller, the colony reduced to only 6 cats, so they got them adopted, finding their forever homes. And Brownie, who was the most famous of these Parliament Hill cats, finally died in his forever home in 2013. He was the last surviving Parliament Hill cat. Let's go on to Italy. A 2006 article in Preventative Medicine highlights the Italian national law of 1991 that was created to protect feral cats. They have the right to live free. They're protected by the nation and they cannot be removed from colonies. They must be sterilized by Veterinary Public Services, or VPS, and the caretakers, also known as cat lovers, are institutionalized figures, and they are actually given jobs by the state to take care of these cats and to carefully track these cats. The most famous colony in Italy lives underneath the ruins of the Colosseum in Rome. They actually have taken over the old lion's den where the lions were kept during the fights or whatever they had back then. These cats now live there, and they're cared for by an agency called the Torre Argentina Cat Sanctuary. They are a favorite among tourists and among the guides, and actually the guides will take tourists down to the sanctuary to visit the cats and the nonprofits' offices. So today, I've enchanted your senses and fulfilled your curiosity by explaining what a feral cat is, along with some of its enemies. And we also spoke on the possible solutions for humans to help. Finally, we described some tail-twisting journeys to some famous cat colonies of the world. So I'd like to leave you with this thought. It's said that there are two types of people in the world: dog lovers or cat lovers. What type of lover are you? I say, why can't we just all unite and become animal lovers? Thank you for listening, and have a great time with your furry furballs.